In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Today, our life has become somewhat complicated. We ourselves has made the life complicated and no one else did that. So we ourselves are responsible. How did we make our life complicated by the way? It is because of the desires, because of the luggage of desires, because of the burden of desires. Each one of us, each one of us is carrying a huge amount of burden, a huge amount of luggage, and this is the burden of the desires. Desires and needs, there is a hell of difference between these two. Desires are like the ocean, and needs is like a bucket of water out of this ocean. So that is there is a hell of difference between the luggage and between the desires and between the needs. The trouble with the today's human is the trouble with the people in our society is that we fail to understand the difference between the desires and the difference between the needs. Unless and until we don't separate the genuine needs from the desires, we shall never ever be able to overcome the anxiety, the lack of satisfaction, the lack of happiness. We will remain afflicted by the dissatisfaction, by the anxiety, by the lack of peace of mind. So it is and very important indeed to understand this difference. It is said that to make the journey of your life comfortable enough, reduce the burden of your desire. Also, a very useful, and very much helping sentences are that the needs of a fakir, a beggar, is also gets fulfilled. The genuine needs of a street man can also be fulfilled, but the desires cannot be fulfilled even by the kings. A king too fails to meet their desires because these are like the ocean, while the genuine needs of a street man can also be fulfilled, can also be achieved. So I think it is and very important indeed that we do understand the difference between the needs and the desires. And also, we need to understand that to be able to develop further, we don't need huge sums of resources. Simply develop yourself as a person. Although all sorts of development is okay, is useful, it is good, including the financial development. Financial development is also very useful, very important. But unless and until we don't develop as a human being, I think all of these developments are going to be wasted, are going to be useless. So it is really important to develop ourselves as a human being, because as long as we are broadening our horizon, as long as we are learning and even better learning, as long as we are getting ourselves trained, we are training ourselves and we are training our younger folks, I think that is how we can make our self develop, and keep developing. Minimalism is the answer to, to the present crisis here in our society. What sort of crisis is there, by the way, here in our society? Every one of us looks upon the people who are ahead of them financially. Everyone looks upon them. Everyone looks upon the people who are carrying, who are possessing the luxuries of life. So it is actually the luxuries of life which is considered everything else. A person does feel that she is a failed person unless and until they do obtain all or most of the luxuries available in the world. Everybody want to have more luxuries as compared to the people around. Why the people are having a kind of rat race like this one? I think it is only because the people don't want to develop themselves personally. They don't know that the personal development is of extreme importance, and they don't know that there is a hell of difference between the desires and between the genuine needs. And they don't know, we the people here in our society do not understand that unless and until we don't segregate, separate, detach the genuine necessities from the desires, we will never be able to live a fulfilled life. We will never ever be able to get rid of the anxiety. We will never ever be able to achieve the peace of mind. So it is really important to work upon our personal development. We need to understand the difference between the genuine needs and the difference between the genuine needs and the desires. And we need to understand that even if I am getting whatever are the basic necessities of mine, I can lead a happy life, I can lead a productive life, because there are a huge number of people in the society who do possess the luxuries, who do possess most, if not all, of these luxuries, but still they cannot be called as a successful people. Still, we cannot say that their life is good one. What is the reason? Because they are lacking the peace of mind. What is the reason? Because they are lacking the genuine happiness. The genuine happiness is far more important than having the luxuries, than having most of the luxuries. So I think unless and until we don't separate and detach the genuine necessities from the desires, we will not be having a clear concept about the life, and we will not be able to know and to understand properly what is meant by success and what is meant by the genuine happiness. So please come to the conclusion. Let's come to the conclusion that that from where we did start, that the genuine needs of a fakir, of a street man, also gets fulfilled, but the desires of the kings to remain unfulfilled. So please come to the needs only. Thank you, Jazakallah.